Hi, good afternoon. My name is Celia del Carmen Gómez Alvarado, and I'm going to talk about the learning of a second language. Okay, we are going to start. We have here a variable which influence language teaching. Okay, this is a table that is adapted from a scan that provides an overview of the influence on language teaching. It consists in 5 boxes which represent the different type of variables in language learning. They are divided in 3 independent variables and 2 dependent ones. Okay. The first one makes reference to the teaching condition under which is being conducted. Here we can find the teacher, the materials, the syllabus, the methodology, and the resources. The second box is centered the learner and all the variables directly affect them. In this case, we have the age, the intelligence, the aptitude, the attitude, the personality, and the cognitive style. And the third box is related to the contextual condition where learning takes place. So here we have here, for example, the second language or the foreign language, opportunities for language use, and the social environment. Then we can find another box that consists in two kind of processes. Okay, the unconscious processes that is referred to the generalization, the transference, and the simplification, and the conscious process that is refers to the learning strategies. Finally, the bow that shows the result of the whole learning processes, it is where we can find the outcome, and we find here the proficiency, errors, interlanguage, and affective reaction. So we can find here the 4 skills ability in English. Input and interaction in second language. Input is used to refer to the language that is addressed to the second language learner, either by a native speaker or by another second language learner. Interaction is the conversation constructed by the learner and his partners. Therefore, input is the result of interaction. Here is a great example about the input and the interaction. For example, here we have the second language learner. Then I have here the native speaker or a second language learner too. When they talk, okay, so they produce the language and they have an interaction. There are 3 views on input in language acquisition: behaviorist, nativist, and interactionist. Okay, behaviorist is focus. We know that in imitate, practice, produce, and here the environment is the crucial determining factor. In nativist, they are emphasis learner internal factors, and the interactionist view sees the language development as the result both of input factor learners' innate mechanisms. So we can say that the behavior it is focused in the environment that is here the outside, plus the nativist, the learner mental ability that is inside. So the interaction is said that the environment and learner's innate ability plus the learner's innate ability, so that is the outside and inside, so they produce the interaction. Input and interaction have been studied in natural settings and classroom environment. For example, input and interaction in natural setting maybe is a conversation in a park. Input is considered in terms of a foreign talk, a course of the need of negotiate meaning and to simplify the language. And the teacher talk that is on the classroom interaction follow an IRF, initiate, response, and feedback. Type of discourse appear when the second language is used for general classroom organization. So the learner-centered teaching is subject or in immersion classroom. Input and interaction in second language acquisition, they have some characteristic to have an optimal learning environment. High quantity of input direct to the learner perceived needs to communicate in the second language, control over topic choice, adherence to here and now principles at least initially, The learners need the opportunity to listen to and to produce language, use the different language functions, exposure to a high amount of directives, in this case they are the commands or orders, and exposure to a high quantity of standing utterances, and opportunities for uninhabited practice. The role of a formal instruction in the learning of a second language. Although instruction has no apparent effect on the sequence of development and very little on the order of development, it does have a relative utility where the rate success of the second language is concerned. Acquisition occurs automatically when the learners engage in natural communication, where they focus on meaning and where there is a comprehensible input. Learning occurs as a result of the study where the learner is focused on formal property of the second language. There are three different positions attempt to explain the classroom in second language acquisition. The first one it is the non-interface position that is associated with crashing. He distinguishes between acquire and learn knowledge, and according to this formal instruction, fail the influence to the natural route of second language acquisition. We know so that the learned knowledge consists of metalingual knowledge which can only be used to monitor output generated by means of acquired knowledge, and the acquired knowledge consists of subconscious second language role which the learner can call upon automatically. The next position it is the interface position. Stevik and Smith defend the notion that learned or explicit knowledge could turn into acquired or implicit knowledge if there was enough practice. For example, we practice in the classroom so we can get the proficiency. The variability position, here Taron and Bialostis saw acquisition and language use are close related. Different types of knowledge arose from and are required for performance of different language tasks. The bilingualisms and multilingualisms. A multilingual person can communicate in more than one language. Bilingual and trilingual are used to describe comparable situations in which two or three languages are involved. Multilingual speakers have acquired and maintained at least one language during their childhood. This is the first language. So the first language is acquired without formal education. Children acquire two languages in this way are called simultaneous bilingual. In some cases, bilingualism occurs when a child is raised by bilingual parents in a monolingual environment, but it can also occur when the parents are monolingual but have raised their children in different countries. And finally, for conclusion, we can say that the term second language seems to fall short when faced with the complexity and variety of multilingualism, as do the separate notions of acquisition and learning. And that's all for me. Thank you so much.